A very good morning to all. My name is Ambika Thakur and I have completed my BTech in Civil Engineering and MTech in Environment Engineering. Today I will start with the lecture 1, that is Introduction to Surveying Engineering. So we will cover the different topics about surveying engineering here in this tutorial session. So first I will start with the introduction to the course, that basically what are the basic thing we have to cover in this lecture. The first one is what is surveying basically, and what is the relevance of surveying with civil engineering, basically how these are interconnected to each other, and how to perform surveying, and what are the application of surveying. So today we will do these basic questions today. Okay, so let's move with the first question. Basically, the first one is what is surveying? Okay, so as you can see here, what we can see that when area is having a lot of details here, and if we want to do any constructions, obviously we require the area details. So surveying is basically an art of collection of data in which we have to collect the existing object details, that what are the things that already present there, and what are the things that we have to construct at present, and what are the measures we have to take. So survey is very important before taking any construction into project work. Okay, so that was the basic definition. So as you can see here also, that planning and execution of most form of construction required basically a survey. No construction project can be worked until unless first survey is performed. So survey is very important part here. Okay, now next one is, if we talk about the old instrument that we used for surveying. The old instrument that we used, the initially we used compass, we used planimeter, we used clinometer, we used chain, theodolite, plane table, and prismatic compass. So these were the old instruments that we used at the earlier ages. But at present we have a modern instrument that we use for the construction purpose. So in this case we can see that what are the instrument we use. Modern instruments like we use auto level, we use total station, we use GPS, we use remote sensing, and we use GIS, that is Geographical Information System. So these are the all modern instruments that we used for the survey now at present time. Okay, now the next thing is that we will discuss at what type of data basically we collect in the survey. So different type of data that collecting during the survey. The first one is linear measurement, second is vertical measurement, third is angular measurement, area, and volume calculation. So basically when we talk about survey, in survey we always collect these five type of data in survey. Some of the measurements will be linear measurements, some of the measurements will be vertical, area, angular, and area and volume calculation. Okay, so these are the basic measurements that we have to collect during survey. Now first come linear measurements. What are basically a linear measurements? As you can see here, that one person is standing there and he is measuring the distance between the two station point, that is station point A and this is station point B. So in that case you can see that the distance between these two station point is measured with the help of these ranging rods and this chain. So basically linear measurement is when you measure the things in a straight line using the tools like chain, yardstick, or measuring tape. So such type of dimensions or such type of measurements are called basically a linear measurements. Okay. Now next one is vertical measurement. Now what is vertical measurements? Basically it is the process of directly or indirectly measuring the vertical distances to determine the elevation of the points or the other difference in the elevations we have to find out. So like you can see here that there is a ground and it is having a such type of profile. This point is at lower elevation and this point is at higher elevation. So suppose this is point A and this is point B. So in that case the elevation of A and B is determined with the help of some benchmark. Okay, that we will discuss in detail in the next coming classes. What is benchmark and how it is established, and what are the things that we can assume as a arbitrary benchmark also. So in that case, basically we do what, that in a vertical profile, suppose this is the ground, one point is here, suppose A, this is one point B. So in this case, we have to determine the elevation of this point from some reference, and again the elevation of this point. So basically we have to identify this vertical distance between these 2 points. So such type of measurement is called basically a vertical measurements. Okay, now next one is angular measurements. So as you can see in the diagram too, what one person is performing a survey here, this is the line AB, and he's establishing another point here, and he's taking a angle of 90 degree here. So he's using the instrument and setting angle 90 degree, and then he will establish the point, and this person is following the guidance of this person until he's perpendicular to this point. So he is establishing this point here with respect to this line. So but basically what this type of measurement is called angular measurements. Now next one is area calculation. Area calculation is very important before starting any construction work. So as you can see here, that first is we have to determine the length and the width of the plot so that we can have a total carpet area idea. So in that case again we have to take the linear dimensions, and that linear dimensions will be multiplied, and then we will get the area details of the plot. So area calculation is also very important. Now next one is volume calculation. What is like whenever we are doing the construction, so what earth profile is not always straight, it is having a what profile like this, it is having undulation, it can have up and down. So what is, suppose if you want this level, so in that case what is that we have to excavate this earthwork. Okay, so in that case first thing is we should know that what is the volume of earthwork that we have to remove. So in that case first thing is we should know the linear measurements. Linear measurements are also required in this case, and vertical measurements are also required in that case. So that will be give you the idea that what is the volume of the earthwork that we have to remove. Sometime it is above from the reference ground, and sometime it is below from the earth ground, so we have to do filling also. So in that case what we require basically a volume calculation. So what is volume is very important in case of construction, because it will give you the idea of cutting and filling. So that is very important part here. Now next one is application of surveying. When we talk about application of surveying, so it is having a very vast role in construction and in other things also. So first thing is, if we see here what is the application of survey, that to prepare the topographical map which shows hills, rivers, forest, valley, etc. So you can see here that these survey will help to form a what map. So this map will give you the idea about the area, that what type of topography it is having. Now next one is to prepare the engineering map showing engineering details like highway, railways, canals, dams, reservoirs, etc. So in that case what is, if we have a map, so we can easily see there that what are the things that present, what are that where are the railways, roadways, canals, dams, reservoirs, etc. So these maps are very useful when we use for such type of constructions also. Now next one is to prepare the contour map to determine the best possible route and amount of the earthwork required. So I already described in the volume calculations also that if you have an area map, you can easily calculate that what is the cutting and filling amount we required. So what is contour map is very base useful in that case. Now next one is, if you talk about that, to prepare the geographical and political map, and to prepare the cadastral map showing the boundaries of the properties like houses, buildings, fields, colonies, etc. So you can see that this is the topography map which is showing basically the plot areas and their boundary lines areas. Such type of map is called basically a cadastral map. So it is again very useful to identify the boundary lines and the property lines and etc. It is very useful there. To prepare a military map showing the different strategy points important for the defense of a country. So what is, initially survey was done only for that purpose only, that if we have a particular army area, so they have a particular map of that particular uh, area, so that they can identify the points, that which point is the target point and where they have to reach and how strategies will be planned. So these all are the basic different applications of surveying basically. So this is only for the introduction lecture. I will start with the first chapter, that is basically what is surveying, the different types of surveying and chain surveying. So that we'll discuss in the next lecture. I hope that you like the content. So please like and subscribe the channel for more technical information.